Hello, what up, what up, what up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel Instructions for Humanity. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Shout out your city, your country, and all of that good stuff. We're going to get into a very, very powerful message by Spirit. You know how we do it on this channel. Come on in. I will wait for some of you guys to come. Shar is here. Awesome, Shar. Come on in, guys. Put a like on the video, share, and click on all notifications so you will get notified when I post again, guys. Come in, guys. It's about to get real. We got a very, very powerful message today. The real reason when you feel envy, when you feel this thing called jealousy, I'm going to tell you why that is from a spiritual standpoint. It has something to do with timelines and also templates, right? So we're going to go into timelines and templates, right? So we can start to clear out some of these, what they call the 7 deadly sins. Buffalo Wild Wings in the house. Come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Guys, please let me know if you can hear me okay. If the sound is okay, we're gonna start this message. Awesome. So while you guys are letting me know if you can hear me okay, let me properly introduce myself. I know you guys are looking at like, what's this thing in the, what is this? What is this, right? There's a story behind this. This is very old. It's my great grandmother's, and it actually was an object that was being cleansed the other day. So this thing is very old. It's I don't know how old it is, 1800 something. It's old, and so if you guys are in the class, quantum telepathic healing and psychic development class, then right? We can read energy and objects. And oh boy, did this one come through with a huge message. It allowed us to tap into the underbelly, some portals going on in the collective lower chakras. And boy, what we were able to cleanse from this little helper here was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give her a shout out. Going to give her a shout out. Okay. I'm going to move her to the side so she doesn't get, so it doesn't distract anyone, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sonia. Come on in, guys. This is about to get interesting. Maybe I'll just keep her here and see if her face changes during this session today. So Source told me the reason why we are envious and we get this thing called jealousy. Source brought me back to the templates, right? So, guys, did I say subscribe to the channel? I did. I said that. Okay. So, Source brought me back to templates. So, let's say you see someone and they're doing something that you want to do. And at first, it's like, oh, that's cool. But then, like, it goes to a level of like, no, that should be me. Not that I want to do what this person is doing, but no, that spot should be mine. And you feel this on such a deep level. And I'm here to tell you that you're probably right. That spot probably was supposed to be you. But then this is where we're going to get into timing, timelines, and templates. It's all about the timing, the timelines, and the templates, right? And so this kind of can create, if we're not aware, it can create this thing called envy. Is where you feel that that person has something that you should have. On a sidebar, guys, if you ever get this feeling of jealousy or envy, what that is, it's a little nudge from the universe telling you that this is the space that you are supposed to feel and occupy. You are supposed to, this is your calling as well. And so the natural human reaction is to uproot that person, upsert the person that's in that space, and insert yourself there. But it doesn't work that way. And if I'm telling you, if you want to do that, you probably will go deeper down through the tunnel of envy and jealousy, right? And that can lead to all of a slew of other issues, right? So I'm going to give you guys an example of what I mean by timing. Okay, so for instance, I had the call to come on YouTube back in 2015. I was supposed to be doing YouTube videos all the way back in 2015. However, I did not actually start YouTube until 2021, I think, something like that, 2021, 2022. I don't know, something like that, a few years ago. And so what this means is by the time I got on YouTube, the class that I would have started with, they're now like well seasoned, right? And so this is what I'm talking about, timing, templates, and timelines. There is a time for everything under the sun. When you hear a call, it is a nudge from the universe for you to step into that timeline. What you're really viewing when you get that nudge, you're seeing, or rather you might be feeling through your clear sentience, you might be feeling the energy from the template, right? So let's say someone wants to start a business, I don't know, a health and wellness business. And they are, let's say they are a nutritionist and they're also a physical therapist, right? And then let's say that someone else now wants to come 5 years from now and they kind of have the similar skill set and they want to also start a wellness business. When then they look at this other person, when you start to do your research, right, your market research, you say, well, this person basically does the same thing that I do. So at that point, what do we have to do when we're thinking about in terms of business? We can align with our competitors. It's very important to align with your competitors, but also too, you have to offer something slightly different or in a different way. Because what is going to be the difference between them going to you versus going to the person that started 5 years ago? This is what I'm saying. So we kind of got to zone out and look at this thing like that. So a lot of the times when we see someone and they're doing something that we want to do, or they're wearing something we want to wear, or they have the girl of their dreams like you want, or the man of their dreams like you want, and the initial reaction is to uproot that person from their timeline and insert yourself there. We don't actually go through the process of understanding how did this person get on this timeline, when it's because there is a time for everything. When you feel a call, that is you feeling the energy of the template. And all that a template is, it's something that other things can be built from. If you want to create, let's say you want to create an email or a little short, presentation, there's templates that you can use. You can Google any sort of templates. You can get them on, on Google, on Word, or anything like that. It already has a structure. All you need to do is plug in your information, your specialities, right? And then you're good to go. It's the same thing. When you see someone and you initially get that feeling of envy, it's because you're looking at a template that you are supposed to be using. You are to be using the template, but instead we look at the person that there's the only one spot. It doesn't work like that. It's a template. Anyone can apply the template. So I hope that this is going to start to help you dissolve envy. So when you are envious, it is a nudge from the universe saying, this is a template that you are supposed to be using. And a lot of the times we already know what we're supposed to be doing. We just don't do it for whatever reason. And we can miss our window of opportunity. There are certain times of the year, certain times of the decade, certain times of the day where the energy is right. Your energy and the energy of the object or the thing that you want is right. It is in alignment, what we call alignment. And if you miss that, then you have to wait for the next time things align. Well, it is the same thing when it comes to not only the template, which shows you, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be in this arena. I'm supposed to use this template to now plug in my specialities, right? And then now you go on your own journey, which creates a timeline. So I want to go into the difference, right, of the template. So you identify the template because you saw someone and you were envious of them. You're like, I should have that. That car's supposed to be in my driveway. You know what I mean? Like, how did my neighbor get that? It's that. Because you know that is the template you're to be working on. However, this is where it gets a little difficult. So birth from a template is a timeline. So sometimes the first person to express that template in totality creates a timeline, yes, but what they do with that timeline is they fill up every single space within that timeline. What that means is their energy signature is solidified in that timeline. Their energy signature is expanded. Once you start to create something, the creation within itself births another creation, and it's the snowball effect. So by the time you may be viewing this thing or this person that you're envious of, which alerted you to the template that you're supposed to be applying to your own life. But because they are so deep within their own timeline from the template, it magnifies them and it, in a way, lowers you. It's because you are thinking as one singularity. When the template is infinite, the template is infinite. Someone say the template is implement. Ooh, the template is infinite. The template is to be implemented, and that will birth your own timeline. So this is the thing, that the template is infinite, but what we do when we see someone, we're looking at the timeline. And sometimes you miss the timeline that you are supposed to be on. So for instance, if I would have started YouTube, matter of fact, if I would have started YouTube back in 2015, I wouldn't even be doing this content. It would be something completely different. And to be honest with you, it would not, I don't even know if I would be, a spiritual healer, but so everything happens for a reason. But I say that to say that there are timelines that we miss, and then it becomes occupied by the next participant. The universe wants to use you. The universe is opening up us to all of these templates so that we can receive the template, the code, and then we can take that and start to create from that template. And what that does is it expands the template, it expands consciousness, it allows source to experience itself through you, through your own particular energy signature. So the universe actually gets to learn and grow when we use these templates. And they're showing the templates to a multitude of us, not just one person. And so sometimes when this overwhelming sense of greed, not greed, but maybe it is, envy, greed, jealousy, when it comes over you, I want you to understand and zone out what you're doing. You're looking at a timeline. You're looking at a timeline that you feel that you should have been on. And a timeline, remember, we can shift timelines by a series of decisions. Your decision is what creates timelines and what changes timelines, right? So that person felt the energy of the template and they answered the call. The template was wanting to be expressed in physicality. And then what they did was they filled their energy. And that energy, when it mixed with the template, mixed with their energy signature, now birthed their own timeline, right? So next time you see that, understand you're looking at one timeline. The template is infinite. It's infinite. Now, when we see the timeline that we're supposed to be on, the reason why you can't get in there, when you're looking at your competitor, you're looking at, something you want, something that you feel that you should have as well. The reason why now we can't get it is because you're trying to stuff yourself into someone else's timeline. When, yes, maybe 10 years ago, that timeline was for you, but for whatever reason, you did not you did not blend your energy to the template to now birth a timeline that would create and snowball and now be expressed in physicality. You miss the boat, right? The timeline is no longer vacant. This is really what Source wanted to say. We can't now go and see something we want, and this person's been occupying this timeline for 10, 15, 20 years, and uproot them, right? That is a deadly sin, the envy that leads to, they say if looks could kill, if they say if emotions, emotions have the ability to harm people, this is how you get psychic attacks and things like that. When people have that evil eye on you, it's that envy, right? The envy could become an evil eye, right? And so you miss the timeline. So what do? Source wants to know. Source wants you to know that that timeline is no longer vacant. And that was kind of a cool message, right? That timeline is no longer vacant. So the reason why you can't get what your neighbor has is because you're trying to fit your energy signature into their timeline. Maybe at one point it was the template that was opening and you could have stepped in and now been on that timeline that person or that thing that you're envious of. But because every single soul has a unique energy signature, that timeline you're looking at, that feeling of envy, it now has a whole new energy signature. So you're trying to get something that technically you could never have because your energy signature is unique. So then like, what do we do? It's like, wait, I missed the boat and that's it. Like I missed my calling. I missed the call from source. And now that's it. The timeline is just forever gone. Well, no, not exactly, right? Not exactly. So let me explain to you what you're going to do in this situation, right? So the template you're supposed to be working with, right? But now you see, oh, there's a lot of other people who have really birthed something from this template, maybe in business. Oh, those are my competitors. Like, what do I do? How do I make myself different? Well, there it is, right? Once the timeline gets filled with someone else's energy, you have to take a look at what it is that you offered that is slightly different. So let the example I used earlier, they're both in the wellness field, right? So you want to look within yourself and see something that is slightly different. And then the slight difference of your competitors, you want to boost that up and now make it your marketing tool. And now what this did for you energetically was it disconnected the envy because you're no longer now looking at the timeline that you missed, which is no longer vacant. It's gone. What you're doing is you've disconnected from envy. You've went inside and you pulled up another speciality that now you are going to magnify. And what that is going to do is going to put you back in alignment with the original template. And it's going to allow you to now birth your own timeline. And so now your timeline is going incongruent with the other people's timelines, right? That you were envious of. All of your neighbors, they have all of these sports cars, right? And, that's their own timeline, right? But now, because you took the focus off of the object they have that you're envious of, and you put it back, the focus back inside. Okay, how did they make the money to afford such a car? Okay, I have the same wellness business, right? But now, because that timeline has been filled, you're trying to jam in your energy signature, it's not going to work. And this is why a lot of people aren't getting anywhere. You have to create a whole new timeline from the same template. That's why they always say, we're not recreating anything here, guys. Every thought has already been thought. You're not creating anything new. You are just making yours slightly different. We are all using templates. We're all using templates. And in fact, the universe wants us to use templates. If we just would use the templates, life would be a lot simpler. You wouldn't have to try to force everything and create everything from scratch. Use the templates. The universe is handing you a cheat code, right? So the next time this happens to you, I want you to zone out and say, okay, I know it's supposed to be on that timeline. But now, since it's not vacant, How can I use the same template to create a fresh timeline that I can now occupy with my energy signature? And this is how you can use templates to create timelines. You're not going to get anywhere trying to stuff yourself into somebody else's timeline. Because remember, you got to be the main character. You got to be a main character energy. You got to be the lead character in your own movie. You got to be the what do they call it? You got to be the lead singer. If you try to get on someone else's timeline, you're going to be in the background, right? You're going to be a supporting character at best, right? So, that's truly, what Source wants to say. And it was very profound. The reason why you're envious has nothing to do with the object in which you're seeking. It's because the universe is always speaking to us. Universal code. You missed universal code. This is truly why you feel that way. And you don't even know why it's like that. It's on a deep level. It's simply because you kind of messed up with the universe, if I'm being honest. You kind of messed up with the universe. The universe sent the call out and you knew you were to answer it, but you were in a relationship at the time. They weren't into this thing that you're into, right? You were, in school. So you didn't have the extra time to spend, doing this other thing. This is why you're truly envious. It's not truly the said object. It's because we even have lack and scarcity within templates. When we're looking at it, the template, like it's the timeline, and it's not. The template is the template, which is infinite. And the timeline is filled with your energy signature, which makes you either the main character, supporting character, or the extra on that timeline. Please get on a timeline where you are the main character. You should experience life on the magic carpet ride. You should experience yourself as the main character. So stop trying to stuff yourself into other people's timeline. Just get back to the template, get back to the original call from the universe, and then sit in within self and pull out what makes you different, because not every two energy signatures are alike. Everyone is different, even if it's just a slight difference. And then that is what you're going to use. And that is going to fill the gap between the object or thing that you want and where you currently are, guys. Does this kind of make sense to you guys? This makes sense. Templates are timeless, right? They're infinite. A timeline is a series of decisions, a series of creation, a series of energy that has snowballed. And, fortunately, but unfortunately for some, there could be timelines that once were vacant, and we missed the call because we didn't want to change, right? We didn't want to go through the uncomfortable changes that it took to seed ourselves in that timeline. And so we missed it, right? And so you have the ability to create a new timeline using the same template, right? And so as we start to get older, we have to get more swift on noticing the templates of when the template is speaking to us to use. This is the difference between living a life on the magic carpet ride where Source is experiencing itself through you, and you are the main character, versus everything just happening to you. Those people, everything, this happened to me, and it automatically puts you underneath the object or the thing. Yeah, I was going somewhere here the other day and then this happened to me, or they did this to me. They said this to me. Do you see? It's always someone else to me. It's a direct line, but notice how you're not first. They're first. The thing that happened is first, right? This is how you become an extra on someone else's timeline as well, when you're not in the main character energy, guys. So not only do we use the template to answer the call, but we have to have those solar plexus freaking on tilt. Like our own personal will and power must be turned on, because if we are timid, if we're not wanting to be seen or to be heard, right, then we're going to end up on someone else's timeline, and we're going to be in the background somewhere, and we're going to be experiencing, not main character. We're going to be getting kind of the leftover energy, is what I'm saying. So as people keep talking about, okay, we're moving into the golden age, right? We're moving into this golden age timeline, right? Yes, we are. But I'm here to tell you, you better be the creator of that. You better make sure you're the main character on that timeline. I'm just saying. After Source brought this to me, I'm like, yeah, we need to make sure we're in the main character on the golden age timeline, or what's going to happen again. It's going to be the same system that snowballs on the new timeline, because you didn't think that you were that big to create it. You can create the timeline that everyone's going to. The new Earth timeline, I've been working on this for years. I'm part of the creation of that. You can be part of the creation of that. Don't wait for someone else to create it and then you just get in where you fit in. It still won't be good for you. We are meant to create, and the template allows us a foundation. It's a mold for us to use to now create worlds. You can create worlds, right? From a series of templates is how you can create worlds. This is where we're headed on this channel. Not only are we refining the light, but we are here to create worlds, not just timelines. So do you see what we just did? We expanded this thing so much that what we did was we took the object off of the pedestal. The object is obsolete. Now we're talking about creating worlds. So you have to take it off the pedestal. You have to put it in context and understand that timelines change every day. If one timeline is vacant, just go back to the template and create a whole fresh timeline. And then you fill up your energy signature with it. Don't try to bring people there with you. And then you're going to end up on their timeline. Your timeline is going to be hijacked all over again, is basically, all that I am saying. And this is what Source really wanted to bring to you guys today. I have so much to say, guys. I got a lot of different videos I need to do. There's a lot of prophecies I've been getting that I have not had time to come here, and a whole nother teaching on what's happening next after the Pope, after this whole kind of age comes to a close, the old age. What happens next? What to look out for? We need to know that. So I'm going to pick that up in a separate video, but I'm going to keep this one short and to the point, guys. I'm going to get out of here, but hopefully you've enjoyed. I haven't given her a name yet, but she's an ancestor. So hopefully you enjoyed her presence here today. All right, guys, you guys be well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.